I've been getting asked a lot lately to make a video on exponents. So in this video, I'm going to explain what an exponent is, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide exponents. So just a little bit of terminology. Let's go ahead and write a number with an exponent. Okay, this number right over here is called the base. And then this top number, that top number is called the exponent. And what the exponent tells us is how many times we multiply the base by itself. So this would be 3. All of this would equal 3 times 3. And notice how that exponent told us to multiply that 3 2 times. Now with that basic terminology, let's see what 3 to the third power would be. So let's write in 3 to the third power. Well, again, this would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. See that exponent tells us to multiply that 3 different times. Now, let me be very clear. 3 to the third power does not mean 3 times 3. What it means is 3 times 3, and that number multiplied by 3. So if we know our multiplication tables, we see that this is 3 times 3 is going to equal 9. So we can cancel that out. We can add 9, and then bring that 3 down, which we have 9 times 3, and that equals 27. So this whole expression equals 27. So there's that snowball effect when multiplying numbers with exponents. Now, how do we add exponents? So say we have 3 to the second power plus 3 to the fifth power. What would this equal? Now, what we have to do is we have to find out what 3 to the second power is, or what it equates to, and then what 3 to the fifth power is. So 3 to the second power is going to equal 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. So we can add 9 plus 3 to the fifth power. 3 to the fifth power. And what is 3 to the fifth power? Now, what we could do is we could multiply 3 times 3 times 3, and on 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And in fact, let's do that. So 3 times 3, we know that it's going to equal 9, right over here. 9. We multiply that by 3. We know it's going to equal 27. This 9 times that 3. This equals 27. And then what is 27 multiplied by 3? And that's going to equal 81. So all of this equals 81. And then you have that last 3. 81 multiplied by 3 equals 243. So 243. So you see how there's that snowball effect when you're multiplying numbers with exponents. So we identified that this is going to equal 9, and 3 to the fifth power is going to equal 243. So let's rewrite that. 9 plus 243 is equals 252. There is our answer. Let's understand how to subtract numbers with exponents. So same example. Let's say we have 3 squared minus 3 to the fifth power. We'll do the same thing. What's 3 squared? Well, we know 3 times 3 equals 9, so this will be canceled out. We can write a 9 minus, and what did we say 3 to the fifth power was? Well, 3 to the fifth power, if we look over here, we saw that it was 243. 243, this number right over here. So 3 to the fifth power is 243, so let's write that in, minus 243. Now, what is 9 minus 243? And of course, we're going to get a negative number. It's going to be negative 234. This equals negative 234. That's how you subtract numbers with exponents. Now let's understand how to multiply numbers with exponents. So same example, 3 squared multiplied by times 3 to the fifth power. So what's 3 squared times 3 to the fifth power? Now, there's something called the product rule. It states that when two powers with the same bases, 3 is the same base, are multiplied together, we can just add the exponents. And we keep the same base. Now, this is when they're the same bases. So this would just equal, the base stays the same, 3, and we add these exponents up here, and we get 7. And this is how you multiply numbers with exponents. Now, let's see, how do you divide numbers? And let's do the same example again. So 3 squared divided by 3 to the 5th power. And what is this going to equal? Now, there's another rule that is important to understand. It's called the quotient rule. The quotient rule. It says when two powers, that power, when two powers with the same base are divided or being divided one by the other, then we subtract the bottom exponent from the top. So what we do is we keep the base, but then we subtract the top numbers, or the exponents. So 2 minus 5 equals negative 3. So this would equal 3 to the negative 3rd power. And that brings me to a very interesting point. What is a negative exponent? And actually, a negative exponent is a reciprocal of a positive exponent. What does that mean? So first, let's assume this were 3 to the positive 3rd power. So let's write down here. Let's say we have 3 to the positive 3rd power. What would this equal? This would equal 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 equals 9, so that equals 9. And 9 times 3 equals 27. So all of this would equal 27. Now, what is the reciprocal of 27? The reciprocal of 27 is 1 over 27. Why? Because you could write 27, technically you could write 27 over 1, and that would still be 27. If you divide 27 by 1, it stays 27. So the reciprocal of that would be 1 over 27, which means that this negative exponent right over here is a reciprocal of the same positive exponent, and it equals 1 over 27. So this would equal 1 over 27. I'm sure many of you have seen this before in your mathematics. Let's say we have 3 to the 2nd power, but we have it in parentheses. And then on the outside, let's say we have 2 to the 5th power. What does this equal? And there's a little rule called the power of power rule. It says that when raising a power to a power, we just multiply the exponents. We multiply the exponents. The base stays the same, and we are left with 3 to the 10th power. If we wanted to, we could figure out what's 3 to the 2nd power, and we know that equals 9. Could go 9. And then what's 9 to the 5th power? We could pull out our calculators and see what 9 to the 5th power is just to save us some time. So 9 to the 5th power, that equals 59,049. This equals 59,049. Now, what's 3 to the 10th power? It should be the exact same answer as this, 3 to the 10th power. So let's, again, pull out our calculators, go 3 to the 10th power. This equals 59,049. So this is the easier way of doing it. You can just multiply these two exponents, and it'll save you some time from having to do this. I hope this video was helpful and helped clarify some questions you had concerning exponents. Thank you for watching, and like always, stay positive.